Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Diamond's Edge. My name is Greg Diamond, editor of 10 Stock Trader at Stansberry Research. And this week, we're going to look at a few things in the S&P 500. We're also going to look at two semiconductor stocks that I actually favor buying soon. So let's jump right into it, okay? This is a chart of the S&P 500 you can see on your screen. I noted to subscribers, to start the year that we were looking at inflection points to trade. Okay, and we saw those around February 14th. You saw this gap down. Okay, the high was actually December 12th, big gap down. But then the market dip buyer stepped in. Okay, we saw March 8th as a big dip, and we treated individual stocks around that. And I'm gonna get into that later. Advanced Micro Devices, Block, for instance, we traded those successfully. We had a really nice win streak going back to late last year. We traded the long side of the market, okay? And, this market has been tricky. We can see here on the S&P 500, this down here at the RSI, we've had this massive divergence, okay, while prices are rising. But as you can see, stocks haven't dipped, okay? So basically what happened from a technical perspective is that we've seen this work off overbought levels within an uptrend. It's actually been kind of boring. So from an options trading point of view, it's just been that. It's been boring, and I'll trade triple leverage ETFs. I take a lot of risk. Okay. Now, if you don't like a lot of risk, you're loving this market right now. All right. So what does that mean? Number one, I'm never going to hold too much bias in either direction. Meaning I'm not going to be an eternal bull. I'm not going to be eternal bull or an perma bear. And, stocks are always going to crash or stocks are always going to go up. I'm open to what the market is going to tell us to do, because ultimately, as investors, as traders, short term, long term, we are beholden to what the market is going to do. So all we can do is react. And right now, what we're seeing is a strong uptrend. It's a little bit boring, yeah. That is going to change this year, I have no doubt. But right now, we have to respect the price action. Okay, so let's look at, because we've moved beyond some time factors that I think marked important inflection points. These are short-term inflection points, not necessarily long-term inflection points, okay? So let's look at what could happen in the near future. Let's say, for instance, that we do have a top, okay? Let's say the top was marked last week on March 21st. Maybe we get a little bit of a new high, try to test the uptrend, that short-term uptrend in the blue dashed line. Maybe we dip down below it, scare everyone, okay, and then rally. Something like this in the red line. Now, what this would do on the RSI is likely make a new low below here. This would actually be positive RSI reversal or rally higher. All right, so that would be an opportunity to buy, okay? That might be something I'm looking for. A little bit of volatility to trade either on the upside and on the downside. All right. Now let's look at two favorite stocks and popular stocks within the semiconductor sector, which really did produce good trading opportunities within this time factors that I mentioned. Okay. And I've mentioned NVDA before. Here's NVDA again. Let's say that we get, you can see the Elliott wave counts I have on here. All right, let's say we get another, maybe we top out today, tomorrow, this week, get another drop. This is something that I would buy, okay? And you can see here, again, let's say we get a new high into this week. You can see the RSI diverging on here, but this is where you would also get a positive RSI reversal if we get a really big decline, okay? And then you rally back up. All right, so that would be something to trade, again, in the near future. All right, now let's look at my all-time favorite stock, which is Advanced Micro Devices. And Advanced Micro Devices, here we have, so we traded this top on March 8th. This is an inflection point I was looking for. You did not see it on the S&P 500. You did not see it on the Dow. You did see it. It was just very short. So what I outlined to subscribers this morning is we have to be aware of what sectors are leading and lagging. And right now, we're seeing the volatility in semiconductors. That's what I'm focused on trading right now. So what we can see here, we saw this, you can see the Elliott wave count. Okay, we had this wave 5 of 3, most likely. Now we're looking at a bottom, okay, within this March 21st to March 25th window. You know, maybe it drops down, or maybe it rallies back up here and then drops and then rallies. But we can already see one of my favorite technical indicators, or technical trading signals rather, developing right here is a positive RSI reversal. And what do I mean by that? So I'm going to track this for you right here, but I drew this red line, okay, right here. And what we can see here is from this low, okay, right here to right here. So the low on the price, the low on the RSI, this low on the price is making a higher low, while this is making a lower low. So you guys can see that, okay? Now, as long as this low holds, and what is that? February 21st at, what's the low? What's the low here? 161.81, okay? So let's say AMD trades up and then trades back down a little bit over the next week or two, maybe into month end, whatever. As long as this low holds, and you can see it broke this trend. So some people are thinking of bailing. I get it, all right? But this RSI, positive RSI signal is actually very, very, very strong signal. So let's say we bounce back up, we trade back down, and this RSI signal is still here, positive RSI. This is a really good opportunity to buy. And you can see how I've labeled this as a wave 4. We could see a move back up to 220. Okay, so we could hit from 170 up to 215, 220, maybe even higher into a wave 5, and that gets you into, late April, possibly May, even June. Okay, so these are some of the things that I'm looking at, and I really want to hit home the point that I'm never going to be ultra, and I mentioned at the beginning, I'm never going to be just always bullish, always bearish, regardless of the market. I look at what the price action is telling me. I look at the signals we're looking at. Okay, RSI reversals are starting to come into play. Positive RSI reversal, especially in the semiconductor. Yeah, the indexes are looking a little bit boring, okay? But that's going to happen, It's not always going to be a trader's market. That's all right. We have to focus on what is happening, not worry what did happen, okay? So, I have to find opportunities where they exist right now, and looking at the charts, looking at the price action, understanding what the Fed did last week. They were very dovish. They're not going to cut rates. I have to respect that, okay? We could see some topping out patterns happen. We could see, some volatility. I welcome that volatility. I will trade that. But right now, semiconductors are still looking like a very good trading opportunity. So that's what I'm focused on for the next 2 to 3 weeks, probably the rest of the year, to be honest with you. But at least in the short-term stuff, this is what I outlined for you today. And we'll take another look at how things are shaping up next week. Thank you.